Hey, Shalom Akim. Let me give first and foremost give all praises to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors as always to the apostles of GMS. Salutations to the men, women, and children of the house of David. My name is Yalak Mara'am, part of the Sheep Warrior Camp. This article that you're looking at is RT News. And this is the rioting that's happening in Minneapolis due to the escalated situation from where the 4 officers had killed a man. And what actually happened is during the riots is saying that Minneapolis police investigate homicide amid reports of a looter shot dead by pawn shop owners. So men are actually going crazy. People are going crazy over the shooting. Over the killing. And they're rioting and destroying the town. But really, why are they going crazy? They're going crazy off of a concept of what it's supposed to be like. What do I mean? The blessings. The blessings is what they're actually going crazy over. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 13. It says, "And the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh shall make thee the head and not the tail." See, we're at the bottom, we're the last to get hired, all right? We're at the bottom at the totem pole. It says, the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, all right? And it says, thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. And we understand in this society, all right, so-called whites are highly favored, which are their biblical name is the Edomites. And these writings and these disputings is all because of a concept of the blessings of what Jake want things to be, but they don't understand the reason why it's not like that. This is the way it's supposed to be if we would have followed the laws and the statutes and commandments. It says, if thou hearken into the commandment of the Lord thy God, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them. You see? So, as you see, these is also prophetic events that's happening where we're coming into a time where the Lord is rousing up, is rousing up Israel. It's starting to get roused up. You know, a lot of the message has been out there, you know, for Israel to try to build a Black Wall Street, try to establish their own town, their own businesses, and be more unified. You know, being unified in the Bible is the way we need to be, because the concept of what we're looking for is the blessings, okay, in which you want what you want in Deuteronomy 28 and 8. The Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses. That's the Black Wall Street right there, which I say, right? And in all that thou settest thy hand unto, and he shall bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh shall give thee, right? We have our own land. Matter of fact, let's go down to verse 5. Blessed shall thy basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. So you're trying to establish this society where we have our own, but the Lord have that already in place. It's already there, but it have not come into tuition because we broke the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, and this is the understanding that these curses after this 15th chapter have come upon us. And this is why you see us getting shot down in the streets, okay? Getting killed, getting pursued by our enemies. Okay? Deuteronomy 28:45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. So say, damn, why is all of this happening? It's because the Most High, okay, I put curses upon us because we have not kept his commandments. Now, repentance is given, and the Most High is giving grace, and the Most High is giving mercy. All right, but when that mercy and that grace is not taken advantage of, the Lord brings more judgments. All right? And what the Lord is doing, he's using the so-called white man to punish us. It says in Romans 13, he beareth the sword not in vain. So you're gonna see a lot more of this, but you're gonna start to see more rioting too, because that is the prophecies that's written in 2nd Esdras. Romans 13:4, for he is the minister of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua to thee for good. But if thou do which is evil, be afraid. What have we done which is evil? It's not the fact that Ahmaud Arbery went inside the house. It's the fact that we departed from the Most High. It's not the fact that the man couldn't get up in time or, over in Minneapolis. It's the fact that he departed from the Most High. These are the acts that the Lord is telling us. These are the messages for us to turn back unto him, not to riot throughout the cities and take up arms and burn down stores and scream Black Lives Matter. No, what it is a message for us to do is to turn back unto our God, our power. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. That gun, that weapon, that power he has, he don't bear it just for show. You Jakes have things for show. No, he's executing that. For he is the minister of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, a revenger to execute a wrath upon him that doeth evil. So we have to sin less. And this is not taught in the so-called blacks. This is why there can't be a so-called black Wall Street. Because what is the laws and the statutes and the commandments? They say we got to have our own offices. Well, what is the rules that the officers is going to enforce? So we have this book called the Bible, and there's a list of laws, statutes, and commandments that's already set up for our Constitution, our contract with the Most High, our covenant with the Most High. And that's what we ought to follow. But see, you're trying to have this black Wall Street when you're going to have sodomites in there. People, just as long as they're black, believe whatever they want, in all manner of wickedness. So you can't have that. Now, the Lord is not going to allow that to happen without establishing a righteous kingdom. Okay? But see, all of this getting angry is due to the fact of wanting to have these situations, which is of things the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's supposed to be this way if we would follow the Lord's statutes and commandments. Zechariah 8:4. Thus saith the Lord, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets in Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age. So you're going to be able to grow old. There's nobody going to be getting killed before 21. There's nobody going to be out there saying, wow, he died at a young age. All right, you're going to be able to dwell in the streets in Jerusalem. Nobody's going to have their foot on your neck in the middle of the streets. You're going to be in peace. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. They're not going to have to worry about gang violence. They're not going to have to worry about being kidnapped, Pizzagate. Seeing the fact that everyone's angry is because this is what wants to be seen. This is what Jake wants to see. But then Jake Filler realizes that We won't see that because we have broken the Lord's statutes and commandments. We have to repent and turn back to God. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of this people in these days, should it also be marvelous in my eyes, saith the Lord of hosts? And yet, the Most High saying, if this is a good sight for you, it's a good sight for me. So the Lord want to perform this, but we're not holding up to our end for the Lord to perform it. How could you want someone to do something when you are doing the total opposite? And see, that's what the Most High said to the remnant, because not everybody's going to be able to make that first transition into the kingdom. There's only a select few men, the Most High's elect, okay, men, women, and children, okay, the men being the governing bodies. But that elect body that's going to make that transition. All right, so what you're seeing going on is you're seeing the prophecies of Second Esdras 15 for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, we've seen the plagues. Second Esdras 15:11. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretch thy arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Locust plagues. Now there's cicadas. There's actual cicadas merging from out of the ground. 17 years cicadas are waking up. They have red eyes and are as noisy as a lawnmower. So now with these plants, it said millions of cicadas to emerge in parts of the U.S. for the first time in 17 years. So first time in 17 years, these insects are emerging, millions of them. And what do you think they're going to do? They're going to eat up the land, eat up the crops. 17 years. All right, you just have locust plagues, Look at this. India faces a swarm of locusts. India faces its worst locust swarm in nearly 30 years. This is in India. You had some going on in Kenya. You had some going on in Africa. You had China was preparing. You have the solar minimum of inactivity of the sun to bring forth crops. You have Tyson Farms that was dealing with the infection of different viruses. You had the swine flu. You got all of these different viruses and plagues. And that's what the Lord did. He caused the meringue. He said, I'll smite you with plagues of Egypt as before. So the Lord did that before. He caused says a meringue. But the point of the matter, not sure how I spell, but the point of the matter is, going back to Second Esdras, these events are all tallying up. I could sit here and stay on the event in Minneapolis. But Minneapolis, yes, it has its own world and its own pocket full of prophecies. But let's stack them all up. And as you read 2nd Esdras, the 15th, 11th chapter, you see that these are the things happening. You see it. It's my Egypt with the plagues before. All right, the cattle was dying in Egypt. All right, the famines was going on in Egypt. All right, then you jump to 15 and it says the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Because what do you think? They're going to bring them, people riding, bring in more drones. All right, you already have the National Guard here due to the coronavirus, military force. You have curfews already in effect due to the, stores was closed. So the sword is drawing nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another. Okay, these situations are repeating, especially due to the coronavirus, where the officers were actually policing more inside of the areas that were filled with so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay. and it's causing attention, and it's all on camera, and people are going to get emotional on these situations, and they're going to feed into it, and they're going to snap and say enough is enough. And this is all to fulfill the Most High's prophecies. All right, so this is where the it says in Daniel the 12th chapter, time I've never seen the great angel shall come down. So there's situations that's being built up. We're seeing actually UFOs more. I did a video just researching through the spirit, researching articles, and you see that UFO sightings increased more and more every year. The Pentagon admitted to them. So how such all of these events, all in his pocket and all being bestowed upon in the book of Edges, and the edges are going to you, showing that the chariot of the Lord being carved out. This is all written. Edges will pour it all out there. You can go to Daniel, you pour it all out there. That book is really coming to life. So what we can do is we could pray and hope, turn back to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Maybe the Lord may have mercy upon you. But I tell you one thing, if you go ahead and try to stack up food and you try to bear arms and join one of these agent provocateur clubs where go riding and stuff like that, it ain't gonna work out for you. All right? It ain't gonna work out. And one people shall stand up against and fight against another with swords in their hands, for there shall be a sedition among men. So you have a lot of these so-called white militia groups as well that don't want to listen to the laws. All right? You have actual militia groups that is they're not with look at this, 9 militia fighters arrested. This is in Central Africa. But you have actual militias there's a lot of things that's going on. The 3 percenters back Bashir Efiji at rally. There's a lot of things that are going on, and they didn't like the they felt like their rights was being taken away due to the COVID-19 and all the acts that was being put in play, all the executive orders. There's a few articles. I'm not sure off the top of my head, so I'm just typing in on militia groups. This is right here. Amid the pandemic, U.S. militia groups plot the Boogaloo, a.k.a. civil war, on Facebook. Extremists are promoting anti-government violence on Facebook. What is it? What is anti-government against the government? That's the word sedition. An uprising against the government. That is the definition of sedition. So we're not making this up. You're seeing it play out. We're not making this up. This is real. This is real events that are going on and happening and occurring on this soil. And it's so much at one time. It's so much at one time. You couldn't even, it's so much. You just have to pack them all in. I know I start off with one thing, but it just has to be packed in that way. Because it's all prophecy. Between these 4 verses, you see all that's going on. These 5 verses from the 11th verse just to the 16th. Those are the events that's taking place. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Well, they don't care what America or the guy. They say anti-government. So if you're against with the government, and not only that, you got a lot of guys, Dabu 7, you got other men out there who talk about the government, and, a lot of individuals who expose, they say, truth sayers, they expose the truth about what the government have going on. They went into things about COVID-19. They went against Bill Gates, so They shall not regard their kings or princes because of look what's going on. Look what's being said. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able to. Right now that is occurring. So look how they're coming, but see, it's gonna get more impacted when the next move it is building up stronger and stronger and stronger. It's not gonna change. All right, it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse. But going back to what it was through the spirit, the message that was started off is you so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Americans, we things are gonna not always be this way. It's just that it's this way because we didn't follow the contract from the Most High. We didn't do it. All right, but that second covenant through Yahweh Shai, through His blood. All right, we're gonna be changed. The laws are gonna be programmed inside of us. The Most High is gonna be our God. And this is the kingdom is going to be, we're not going to be having any worries about this. So with that being said, all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles to GMS. Salutations to the laborers out there, the men, women, and children in the house of David. Bayaf Dawadah. And Shalom.